Trump's remarks are very outrageous.
Obviously what he said is ridiculous and it would never happen.
I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised.
I'm here in Dearborn, the largest Arab majority city in the US, and the war in Gaza was a deciding factor in the presidential election here. In this largely liberal city, President Trump won, and that was a big deal. We came here to speak to the Arab American community to find out how they feel about President Trump's comments about taking over Gaza.
I voted third party. I think it's unlawful and delusional for him to think that he can displace Gazan people from Palestine, and that is calling for ethnic cleansing. I voted for Donald Trump. The initial reason why I voted for him was that he promised to bring stability to the Middle East and, to focus more of our resources on our country.
Do you regret voting for Trump?
I feel like I do and I don't. It's like mixed feeling.
If you don't want to vote for Jill, vote for Donald Trump. But do not give a vote to Kamala Harris and expect to be welcomed by my community.
I just need to say it. We told you so. We told you so. We told you so. We told you so. Just about everything. Everything that's about to happen, we told you so. We were like, hey, it's going to be bad. If he comes back, he's back. It's already getting bad. We told you so.
Right quick, you all tell me if you remember the following.
Vote for Jill, vote for Donald Trump. But do not give a vote to Kamala Harris and expect to be welcomed by my community.
So that was a member of the Muslim American community there in Dearborn, Michigan, who told us if we voted for Kamala Harris, that we were not welcome in their community. And that was because of stances over Gaza, right? Well, yeah, this is going to be kind of awkward. Hold on.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible.
Hold on. He's not finished.
People of the area will do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
So this your man's, right? This your man's here talking about turning a demolition site into the Riviera of the Mideast. And those of us who stood with you, you told us we wouldn't welcome in your community if we didn't vote for your mans here, or Jill Stein, right? Question, where's Jill Stein now? Well, she doesn't seem to be answering the phone right now. And while I will never be okay with the carpet bombing of children, I will say this. If you all need any help in the community you told us we wasn't welcome to, since Jill Stein isn't answering, remember, you can always call Ghostbusters.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of FAFO season, where people keep on finding out the hard way that political loyalty doesn't always pay off. First it was MAGA Trump supporters, then Latinos for Trump, and now the Arabs for Trump movement is going through it. Why? Because they thought putting Trump back in the White House was their golden ticket to stopping the war in Gaza. But now, the America First energy is coming back to bite them. Well, after throwing their support behind Trump, some Arabs are feeling straight up betrayed, realizing too late that he was never their guy. Now they are in tears asking for black solidarity, black support, as the internet is eating them up alive. Let's get into it. If you are new to the channel, kindly consider subscribing, like the video, and drop me your opinion in the comment section below. I'll be back with more commentary.
This is the time for all the minorities, all the movements, all the working class to come together and really build power and really fight against the fascism that's been here, but finally popping its head out and being loud and proud about it. And unless we do something, really come together, it's gonna get real bad.
Sounds good, bitch, but we should have did this November 5th. But might I remind you, you said this.
Vote for, if you want Donald Trump to win, say that. Bitch! I will vote for Satan if I have to. I don't care who we gotta deal with for the next 4 years, as long as you motherfuckers know that you fucked up and you guys are gonna deal with some type of repercussion for what happened for the last 10 months. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that bitch does not win and the Democrat Party loses the election. Fuck you guys.
He said all of this, and then he sealed it with a kiss. How do you expect us to come together in unity and form a community when there's no trust? You betrayed us. The black community told you this was going to happen, and rather than listening to us, you silenced us, you harassed us, you doxed us, you dehumanized us. You told us we don't know what genocide is, we don't know what oppression is. Imagine telling somebody who literally had to survive 400 years of slavery that we don't know what oppression and genocide looks like. You think just one day we just woke up and black folks were granted their rights? No, we had to fight for it. And one thing that we learned within that fight is also learning about this thing called harm reduction. We had to learn how to play chess, not checkers, and it literally took us years to get here. And the sad thing about it is the black community tried to give you the play-by-play on how we could help the Palestinian people, but you didn't want to listen to us. You said that we're stupid, we don't know anything about oppression, we're ghetto, hoodlum, genocidal trash. You dehumanized us. Told us that we don't know anything about a country that has literally been disenfranchising us for the last 400 years. And the sad thing about it is you would not have your civil rights if it wasn't for black people's plight. The only reason why you was even able to protest vote to begin with and throw it away is because of the blood that was spilled by my ancestors. So please get that fucking shit correct. And now y'all got the nerve to knock on the motherfucking door and ask black people, where are you at, black folks? We need you. Well, we needed you too on November 5th. And we told you that if you think that you are going to teach us a lesson, you're going to fuck around and find out first. Please don't come to black creators. Don't come to black people asking us for shit in this moment. Okay, we only 2 weeks in and we still haven't healed. We still haven't healed. And that brings it back to the dehumanization of it. We put our sweat, tears, and soul into this election, trying to save this nation once again for every other minority and marginalized community to betray us. And then you got the motherfucking nerve to show up to our fucking doorstep and tell us what the fuck to damn do. And we need to get your black ass up and do something. Please be gone with that bullshit. If anything, what y'all should be doing is apologizing to us, trying to gain our trust again, because I'm going to tell you right now, we don't fucking trust you. In order to build community, there has to be trust there. And you've already gone against the damn grain. You got 2 years to get y'all shit together before the next midterms and gaining black people's trust, because we don't trust y'all asses. Because I'll be damned if I'm going to be on the front lines and being used as a black human shield for people who do not even give a fuck about my existence and played in our face and told us that they want us to suffer because they were angry. The same people who said that they were our allies when we said, if you vote for Kamala Harris, don't worry about her. The black community will hold her accountable if we elect her. But rather than reaching across the aisles for a compromise, you decide to play in our fucking face and set off a fucking bomb and explosion. And now all of us are dealing with the consequences. So please leave us the fuck alone. Stop harassing us. Remember, we don't know anything about oppression. We don't know anything about organization. We're DEI hires. We're apes. All this anti-black shit that y'all was saying on this TikTok app to black content creators and black people. We remember. Okay, November went number 3 months ago. We remember. The North remembers. Why is the onus always on us? Again, black people do something. Black people fix it. Black people organize it. Black people put it together. For us to tear it the fuck apart and then play in your face and claim to quote unquote be allies when all we ever do is lie. Because as soon as the white supremacists come a knocking, we're going to run and find safety and supremacy and leave your ass out in the cold to fend for yourself. Because again, black person, you're not human. Your life doesn't matter. Even though I have BLM in my bio, I honestly don't think it matters. I'm doing this for clicks and views and getting invited to the cookout. Just stop. Why is it that everything that this black woman said has come to pass and it's been less than 2 fucking weeks? Why is it that everybody black was on the same damn time and the same fucking wavelength, but y'all couldn't be? Because again, y'all don't want fucking equality. Y'all want to benefit from white supremacy. And right now, black people are trying to internalize that, grasp that, and try to move differently around y'all because we do not trust anybody but our own in this moment. And can you really fucking blame us? Stitch this, bitch.
Remember, no one's free until we're all free. And we can't protect ourselves if we can't protect each other. This is the time for all the minorities, all the movements, all the work.
But didn't you...
We are going to do everything in our power to make sure Kamala Harris doesn't win. Vote for, if you want to vote Donald Trump.
No, I don't know if black people holistically have told you. We done with that holding hands and being side by side and going against the grain. That's over. And a lot of y'all thought it was a joke. A lot of y'all thought it was a game after the election. Everybody from that movement was like, oh, that's just black people online. They don't represent the whole black community. You sure about that now? Because they saying it in real life too. Real bad. Again, you want any type of black solidarity, any type of black anything, you need to clock that anti-blackness. We've been telling y'all this for 6-7 months, and you guys still continue to not listen. You called a black woman outside of her name, and then you try to justify it by saying she's a war criminal when she ain't. She was just the vice president of the United States of America. You're a misogyny, and your anti-blackness is why you didn't vote for her. You sat here and said out your mouth, I'd rather vote for Satan himself than vote for Kamala Harris. Well, Satan is in the office now. He's in the White House now. Now what? Now what? You sitting here talking about in order for, if you really want to be a revolutionary, you're telling black people, you as an Arab man is telling black people, if you want to be a true revolutionary, you can't sit here and play the two-party system. You don't even go to Trump rallies and disturb their peace. Hell, matter of fact, most of your people don't even attend Trump rallies and protest them. How you gonna sit here and tell black people how to be revolutionaries? Y'all on y'all own. Dead ass.
So Donald Trump is not proposing an ethnic cleansing in Gaza. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's what it is. He wants the U.S. to take ownership of it, remove the people who are living there by force if needed to Egypt or Jordan. He wants to level it out and rebuild it to what he has called the Riviera of the Middle East. First and foremost, I want to say that this is not a fuck around and find out moment for the Palestinians living in Gaza, because they did not fuck around. They could not vote in this past presidential election. They could not go to the polls. They could not cast a mail-in ballot. But for the so-called pro-Palestinian activists who could participate in this past presidential election, are you ready to admit that the people of Gaza are finding out because you fucked around and spread so much misinformation? Y'all went on and on and on demonizing Kamala Harris, calling her a war criminal, saying that she never spoke up for the people of Palestine, saying that she never called for a ceasefire. Did y'all do any fucking research? If you did, you would see that she was one of the first people to push the White House to be more sympathetic towards Palestinians. This article is from December of 2023. Vice President Kamala Harris has been telling colleagues in the administration, namely Joe Biden being among these officials, that she wants the White House to show more concern publicly for the humanitarian damage in Gaza. March of 2024, Kamala Harris calls for a ceasefire in Gaza. July of 2024, Harris says she will not be silent about humanitarian toll in Gaza. And the reminder that Google is still free. Kamala Harris multiple times called for a ceasefire and a two-state solution. And I know what y'all are going to say. She only said those things because she was running for president. She wanted to look good. Mind you, the first article I showed you was from December of 2023, but okay, pop off, queen. Y'all didn't want to believe Kamala Harris. Y'all didn't want to listen to her. Who then should we listen to? The people of Gaza? Because the Palestinians in Gaza themselves said that they prefer Kamala Harris over Trump. You call yourself a pro-Palestinian activist and say that you care about the people of Gaza. So tell me why, instead of amplifying their voices, did you speak over them? I need your answer quickly. I think that y'all never thought that Trump was actually going to be reelected. Y'all thought that y'all could get on here, say whatever you wanted about Kamala Harris. She would still win the election, and then y'all could use her as your punching bag for the next 4 years. Y'all did not have a plan for if Trump got reelected, and that's why it is fucking crickets from you bitches now. You can try to maintain that you are innocent, that you played no part in Trump being reelected. I'm going to hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. Call it a J-Lo concert ticket, bitch. No one is fucking buying it. Hope this helps. Peace and love. Talk to you later.
So a pro-Trump group called Arab Americans for Trump just announced that they will be changing their name to Arab Americans for Peace after Donald Trump proposed taking over Gaza and redeveloping it to turn it into the Riviera of the Middle East. So here's what the group's leader said as to why they are dropping the for Trump from their name and changing it to for peace. Quote, "The talk about what the president wants to do with Gaza, obviously, we're completely opposed to the idea of the transfer of Palestinians from anywhere in historic Palestine. And so we did not want to be behind the curve in terms of pushing for peace, because that has been our objective from the very beginning. Yet, if that was your objective from the beginning, then Why were you supporting a guy who wanted to enact a Muslim ban and who was so transparently obvious, inciting completely against the Palestinian people? Like, whether or not you supported Kamala Harris was one thing, but there is no denying that she was more benevolent to the Palestinian people than Donald Trump. It's unfortunate that it took Donald Trump saying he wants to level Gaza for this group to realize that supporting Donald Trump may not have been in the best interests of the Palestinian people.
All those people who went back to Starbucks and McDonald's because they thought Palestinians caused Trump to win the election.
I looked at a picture of Gaza. Gaza is like a massive demolition site. That place is...
Maya, it wasn't everybody. I sounded that alarm, bitch. It was me. I did that. And it is your fault. It is your people's fault. Y'all were part of the problem. Right along with Cubans, white women, and Latinos. Because, baby, we didn't. 92% of black women, 82% of black men didn't. It is your fault. Your home is about to be destroyed and become a resort. You disappeared from December to January. You just popped up 3 days ago. Where the fuck you been? I don't hear you talking about what Trump is about to do to your home. I see you making skits. I don't see you fighting anymore. You are a joke. Because of your ignorance, your people are going to suffer. Because you tried to promote hate at Kamala Harris, which are anti-blackness, and trying to put the war on Gaza on her shoulders when she had no kind of fucking power. But she was the only one listening to y'all in those crowds. She was the only one asking for a ceasefire. She was the only one willing to meet y'all at the table so we can get this shit fixed. But now your home is going to become a resort. Mass deportation is on the list. You better hope that your friends and family are all locked in and they don't just have green cards, because that is not going to save you. So once again, it was me. I told my black people to go back to Starbucks. I told them we sitting out for the next 4 years. We ain't doing shit. I'm gonna sit back and watch as this man tries to mass deport your people. Denaturalize y'all. This is what you asked for. This is what you wanted. This is what you got. And send y'all to a place he plans on flattening anyways. Congratulations, you played yourself. Oh, and where's your friend Jill Stein? Where's your girl at? I ain't heard from her since she got y'all money. Stupid ass.
Alright y'all, there you have it actually. Let's talk about why some Arabs and Muslim voters were rocking with Trump in the first place. So I did a little bit of research because I wanted to understand why these people were voting for, the Orange Party or the Red Party in the first place. Why a lot of them were supporting, Trump instead of Kamala Harris. And what I found out is that some Arabs and Muslims actually bought into the Trump's America First talk, and they thought because Trump wasn't a politician, maybe he'll shake things up and stop the war. And to be fair, Trump did criticize how Biden's administration was handling the war and actually calling it a disaster and saying that he would actually end this war in 24 hours. Sounds good, right? But they seem to have forgotten one thing. Trump always says a lot of things that actually he doesn't mean, and he doesn't plan to follow up with actions. So now, as we have seen in the videos, guys, a lot of Arab and Muslim voters are actually feeling betrayed because most of them actually voted in favor of Gaza. The Orange Man was going to end and stop the war in Gaza, but we know what he just announced lately. He wants to turn Gaza into the Riviera of the East and actually push out all the residents of Gaza to places like Jordan and Egypt. So after hearing this, a lot of Arab communities in America have been coming out and crying out loud that they regret their vote for Trump. They regret voting for this man because they feel like he has betrayed them. He's not following up with the promises that he had announced in his mass campaigns. But let's be honest, there was never any promise there. That was just some campaigning language. You should understand when to trust somebody. You should understand when someone actually mentions something, meaning it, and when they do mention something just to win an election. All he needed was your votes. And at that particular moment, like any other politician, they would use that as an advantage to them. They would use that to actually prey on the emotions of people, to prey on the emotions of Palestinians in America, Arab community in America, the Muslim community in America, so that he would actually wrap up your votes and win the election. You should always learn to understand the language of politics, and you should always be careful, especially when someone is just saying something that you need to hear. So a lot of you actually voted against Kamala Harris. You voted against the Democratic Party. You voted against what actually could have been your hope in this resolution to a peacekeeping. But a lot of black folks actually warned you. A lot of black people were warning you. You know, you never listen to black folks. Black folks have been in the country for ages and they have seen it all. They have lived it all. So you should listen to people, because most of your community actually got repatriated to the United States just recently, a few years ago, because, you know, of the mass insecurities in the Middle East. But black people have been there for years, for centuries. They know what they are talking about. They have seen this all over and over again. Politicians coming and promising one thing just to win a vote, just to win an election. And then after they have the votes and actually have the power to change things, they turn back on them. So you didn't listen, you effed around, and now you're finding out. And in this FAFO season, black folks are just relaxing at home and enjoying their popcorns as they are watching MAGA tears, Latino for Trump tears, because also they too did not listen to black folks when they were warning them. You did not listen to the people who are actually trying to advise you to vote, you know, for your best interest. Now you have to live with the consequences of your votes. Now, the lesson that you have to learn from this, actually next time when you have the chance to make that decision at the ballot box, is, you know, make sure you don't vote out of emotions. Make sure you don't vote out of hearing sweet, empty promises. Make sure that you vet every politician that comes promising you what you need to hear. Because if you are being honest, politicians will always be politicians. When they need your vote, when they need your support at the ballot box, they will always tell you what you need to hear. But you need to look at their history, what they have done, and what they plan to do. And again, guys, it's not like it's the first time Trump is in office. We've already had 4 years of Trump in office actually before, and you guys did not learn from that. So I don't know, if you cannot learn from the 4 years of actually the orange man running things in the state house, then what can you really learn from? What can really get you to understand and vote for your own best interest instead of sweet, empty promises? Thank you very much for watching this far, guys. If you're new to the channel, kindly consider subscribing, like the video, and drop me your opinions in the comment section below. And as always, see you on the next episode.